So what we're going to talk about today is translating. So we're going to translate phrases and sentences into expressions and equations. The first thing that we're going to talk about is words that mean add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And so we're going to start off with addition. And in addition, we've got a couple of key words that mean addition. And so when we read them, we know that they translate into addition. And one is the lovely word sum. So the sum of a number and 6 would translate like this: x plus 6. Now, when you're translating, you want to translate everything in the order that it appears. There will be times when we don't want to do this, but in general, that's our rule. Translate in the order things appear. So a number, which is our x, comes first, the 6 comes second. Now we do know that with addition, we have the commutative property, so we can switch these. It's not a big deal. All right, a number. How about increased by 5? So increased by 5, so x plus 5. And another one, more than. Three more than a number is 3 plus whatever our number is. We'll call it x. All right, let's go to subtraction. So if we had sum, in subtraction, we have difference. So we have the difference between a number and 7. With subtraction, the order does matter. So the number is going to come first and the 7 second. All right? If we had increased by for adding, in subtraction, we have decreased by. So decreased by 6, the number came first, so x minus 6. The next one is tricky, all right? Like more than, with subtraction, we have less than. However, the phrase less than requires us to do something specific, and that is this: switch the order. We have to switch the order. So the 3 comes first and the x came second, flip it around the other way. All right? That's how you have to do it with less than. You know what else you have to do it with? Let's write it right under here. Subtracted from. With those two phrases, you do have to reverse the order. And with this last one, you don't. It's just a less without a than. 9 less a number. And you know what this is like? It's like the word minus. The less without the than is like a minus. So this is 9 minus x. All right, so if we move on to multiplication, our first word here is product of 6 and a number. Now remember, the order in multiplication doesn't matter, just like in addition, because we have the commutative property. So instead of writing this as 6 times x, we can write this just as 6x. And if it had a number and 6, we could still write it as 6x. We don't have to write it as 6 times x, just 6x. All right? Our next word is our lovely word times. 5 times the number. That's 5x. And the last one is a little teeny tiny word, the word of. And of relates to fractions and percents. Okay? So, 1/2 of a number is 1/2 times x. You can write it like this, or you can put the x on top. So you can write it like this. Let me give you another word here. We'll draw a little blank for it. The word here, twice. Twice the number is 2 times. So this is 2x. Let's now go to division. With division, we have quotient. And remember, division is like subtraction. You can't mix up the order. It has to be in a specific order. So whatever comes first is on top. Whatever comes second is on the bottom. So the quotient of a number in 4 is x over 4. And my last word here is divided by. A number divided by 8 is x over 8. Let's flip the page here for a second. We're going to talk about some other words that mean things in math. The square of a number, you will hear me say the word squared all the time. The square of a number is the exponent of 2. So the square of a number is x squared. The cube of a number, you'll hear me say this as well, is x to the 3rd power. The opposite of a number means that same number, but instead of positive, negative. So this is negative x. And the last one, the reciprocal of a number. Remember, with reciprocal, we're flipping upside down. So if we take an x, our reciprocal is 1 over x. All right, we also have phrases that indicate grouping. All right, the key ones that you want to look for are these two. Sum and difference. When you see those, that usually is going to indicate parentheses are involved. All right, so let's go to the bottom, and we've got a couple of examples to go through. I think just 5. So first of all, 4 times the sum. That's a grouping word. 4 times the sum. So this is 4. And then parentheses, 4 times the sum. The sum of what? A number and 6. So x plus 6. Here we have 1 less than. Guess what? That's going to be a switching of the order. So guess what? 1 came first, minus 1 is going to be at the end. What comes in front? The product of a number and 5. So product is multiply. A number and 5 is 5x. Then I have twice the difference. Remember, sum or difference, you're now looking for parentheses. So twice the difference is 2, and then in parentheses. And it's between a number and 3. This has to be in the same order. So this is x minus 3. This is just the difference between. You think that they're very similar, but it is different. The difference between 2 things. This thing and this thing has to go in that order. Twice a number is 2x, and then the minus 30. So see how C and D are different. The wording is just a little bit different. I've got 10 increased by. Increased by is added. So 10 plus. What is added to it? The product of a number and 4. All right, so that's 4x.